So, what's up today? What's up, you guys, basically? So, I would like to talk about the shot contest in NBA 2K. It's really a thing of height, in my opinion. Cause like, hold up. If you're like, oh, that's wild. Anyway, it's more of a thing of height than just actual shot contest itself. Kind of, you know. Cause like, I think it's in certain ranks of like under 6'3", it's hard to get heavily contested. Period. Cause like I have a 6'2" character. My friend has a 5' character, and my 6'2" has never got a heavily contest on anybody. Like anybody that's like you know, actually taller than us. Like anybody above 6'5", we've never heavily contested. It's always been lightly. Like almost every time. I think it's just mainly because we're short characters. You might be saying, oh, you're short, of course you're not going to get contest, but I mean, even if you're short, you should get rewarded for very good defense. And I also think that, you know, it's a system of like kinds of contests. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I would like for some of you guys to hear me out, you know. I would like for some of you guys to hear me out on that. Because I think it's a thing of like 6'2" and under have a different contest system than people 6'3" and above. Cause I have a player of every height. I got a player that's under 6'2", a player 6'3". I mean, I got a player 6'5". I had a player that was 6'3", but that was earlier in the game, and I deleted him because I wasn't interested in him anymore. Had a player that was 6'6" through 6'8", and the kind of system I think it's in, you know. I think it's kind of like a thing where, you know, different heights have different contest system, and they don't have to be like different heights. They have to just be like, you know, kind of like the same height, but you know, because a 6'8" has a hard time contesting a 7'3". That's just the way it is. You can have a 99 contest, because my lockdown gets shot over by 7'3s, no, layup over by 7'3s all the time. Not all the time, but they do it like 40%, 50% of the time. They'll just do a layup right over his head, and he has a 99 contest. And that should never happen just because he has a 99 contest. And I'm not talking about athletic finishers. I'm talking about glass cleaners. Like glass cleaners, post scorers. None like, no athletic finishers. Like, I did a 1v1 one time against a 7'3", 68 overall glass cleaner. I won, but he did a layup over my head 3 times. They didn't do it in takeover because, you know, takeover in 2K19, guess it can't be stopped. But you know, when I wasn't in takeover, he just kept on layuping over my head, you know. And I guess 2K thinks that's alright, even though I have a 99 shot contest. And it doesn't make much sense to me, you know. Anyway, the contest system is 6'2" and under, you know, have a harder time contesting people that are like 6'6" and above. Kind of like how my glass cleaner has a hard time contesting people 7'2" and above. I mean, my lockdown. I say glass cleaner. My lockdown has a hard time contesting people that are 7'2" and above. Anybody 7 foot, they almost never get layups over my head, unless they have like gold relentless finishing. It almost never happens, bro. Almost never. But if you're like 7'3", I almost never get heavily contested on them either. Because I think only people that are like 6'10" and above can get good heavily contested. Like you can get them, you can get heavily contested, but you might have to jump most of the time just to get it. You might be saying, well, he's 7'3", but that's not a realistic thing. Like the 7'3" Boban Bogdanovic, actually he's 7'3.5", but 7'3" Boban Bogdanovic, the NBA player, he can't just like lay up over LeBron James every single time. If he did, they would just keep on feeding him the ball, and he would average like 40 points a game, 50 points or something like that. If they really wanted him to, like, if he was really that unstoppable. He's pretty hard to stop just because he's 7'3", but it's not like he's absolutely unstoppable. Like every time he puts a layup, it's going in over somebody's head. Because that's just not realistic. You just can't be that tall and be that accurate. And if you are, you're going to be a prospect. A very rare occurrence. So it's not a shot contest system in NBA 2K is not a realistic thing at all, in my opinion. Don't understand it. If you saw the video clip that I just posted, you know, you should see that. You should see what I posted. It's like, you know, a thing basically of a video of me just getting shot over as a 6'2" dude. But if I was 6'4", I would have got a lot more contest on him. I know that for a fact. I would step next to him and it would be open for some reason, but you know, some people might be saying, oh, that's open, but it should be contested because my hand was on him before the shot went up. So give it a light contest. And even then, in a few clips, he just shot right over my head. No type of ands, buts, whats, none of that. He just shot right over my head. Like, it wasn't any, you know, oh, you might have not got a contest. No, it was a, oh, that should have been heavily contested type thing, but it was lightly contested, and then he just shot it. And the brick wall badge, it's not as bad as 2K17, but it's just wild because all they did was do the pick and roll all game, and if your random teammates don't know how to stop it, then you already took a loss. So I'm not gonna be mad at him because he was a decent shooter. He just shouldn't have made almost every single shot. He's a playmaking sharpshooter, and he just kept on shooting over my head. And I'm pretty sure it's because I was 6'2". If I was 6'4", would have got a lot more contests. Because a lot of those shots were open for some reason when they should have been contested, in my opinion. He probably would have made them anyway if they were contested. Because, you know, he just kept on shooting over my head. But he probably wouldn't. Like, he just kept on hitting lightly contested. And what did they get? I think it was a point guard. So his deep range Jedi probably goes to silver. It probably goes to gold, to be fair, but it could go to silver. I don't know. Yeah. But that's all I wanted to talk about, you know. The shot contest system in 2K is broken, especially for height. People, other YouTubers have been saying this. I'm not really a YouTuber. I know this video might get like 2 views, and that's gonna be my friends probably. So, but the shot contest is broken, especially for different heights. You could have a 99 shot contest and be 6'8", but you would like never get a heavily contested on somebody 7'3", which doesn't make sense. Needs to be fixed. And for 2K20, I'm gonna like inspect it on like 2K19, cause in 2K19, I didn't know, bro. I just didn't know. In 2K20, if you're 7'1" or taller, they need to make it to where your layup goes down. Let's say you make a pure athletic, and his layup is 90. He's 7 foot tall, and his layup is 90. if you make him 7'1", his layup goes down. Layup goes down at like a what? 82. If he's 7'2", it goes down to 74. If he's 7'3", it goes down to 66. This is the standing layup. Cause like 7-foot scores, they're just not a very realistic thing, and it would be best not to have them in 2K. They just need to be like rim protectors. You need to punish people for making like 7-foot builds and just lay up and over people very easily. It's just something that shouldn't happen. Like, it's a reason why there are no 7'3" players in real life scoring over 20 points a game. It's because you have to be very, very naturally skilled to be a 7-foot scorer, first off. And it's very hard to do because a lot of people guard you, and you know, the taller you are, the harder it is to make shots. I know that seems crazy, but I mean to make layups. Because Kyrie and Steph Curry can make layups at a consistent rate because they have a lot of versatility. Somebody 7'3" doesn't have a lot of versatility. He just throws the ball up and prays it goes into the hoop, kind of. And that's why big men like Shaq were so special, because they could actually move around. Even with Shaq being 300 pounds, he could still move around very good. For somebody his size, 325 pounds. Even somebody of Shaq's size, it was very special to have somebody 7'2" that can move around like Shaq. That's why people like Yao Ming were so unstoppable, because they can move around and be extremely tall. And they were something like 7 foot. It would be a little bit less special and a little bit less dominant. But since they were so big and tall, nobody could stop them. But it shouldn't be Shaq's in the game. It shouldn't be Yao Ming's in the game, because, well, they were both unstoppable. And if you want to make a fair game for everybody, you can't have Shaq's and Yao Ming's. The point guards are kind of broken. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. Hopefully you guys think my opinion is worth something. See you guys later. Donovan, you can't guard me.